I just I just love television so much. Dirty Ron. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Movie Buddy. I'm your host Josh Blumenkrantz, and today I'm going to do something different. Instead of predicting the movies or reviewing the movies, we're going to go to television. That's right. Today I am breaking down my predictions for the 2025 Emmy Awards, the nominations. So I'm going to go through about 25 categories. We'll see what happens because I'm going to report the live nominations this Tuesday, the 15th, for the Emmy Awards, and it's going to be very exciting. So without further ado, let's get into it. All right, let's see. So first category, we have animated program, and here are my predictions. I got Arcane, Simpsons, Invincible, Love, Death, and Robots, and Bob's Burgers. I don't really see any other shows I can get in here. I mean, like maybe Harley Quinn, but like I feel like these shows are pretty solid. It's what kind of everybody's kind of talking about. Simpsons usually gets in every year. Invincible is kind of like the new show on the block, so that's kind of cool to see. And Bob's Burgers is like a staple now. It's been on for like so long. So yeah, these are my predictions for animated, and I feel pretty good about it. Next up is variety scripted series, and the nominees are Last Week with John Oliver and Saturday Night Live. There's only two, and it's just going to be those two. It's plain and simple. It happens every year. They always go to head, and yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. Next up, we have Outstanding Variety Talk Series. And the nominees are The Daily Show, Everybody's Live with John Mulaney, and The Late Show with Stephen Colbert. But watch out for Jimmy Kimmel because he's been nominated before and he could easily come back here again. That's usually the traditional choice, but I think John Mulaney is very popular this year. You know, everybody loved that show. He's just kind of like growing with like pretty much every production that he does. So, I mean, I feel pretty good about it. Also, Seth Meyers might get in. He's gotten here before, but when you can only have only three options, this year is pretty tight. But yeah, these are my three, and I'm sticking with it. We have Outstanding Host for a Reality or Reality Competition, and the nominees are Alan Cumming for The Traitors, RuPaul for RuPaul's Drag Race, and we also got Jeff Probst for Survivor, Kristen Kish for Top Chef, and the Shark Tank hosts from Shark Tank. So I feel like this is a solid five. I mean, Kristen did get in for Top Chef last year, so it could happen again. But watch out for Phil Keoghan for The Amazing Race. He could get in there. It's a pretty popular show still. People love that show. So it's bound to happen again, but I feel like he's not going to make the cut this time. But yeah, these are my five for Outstanding Reality or Reality Competition TV hosts. Next, we have Outstanding Reality Competition Program, and the nominees are The Traitors, RuPaul's Drag Race, The Amazing Race, and we also have Survivor. And finally, the big question is, which one? Top Chef or The Voice? Top Chef or The Voice? I'm going to go with Top Chef. I feel like that show is just rising every year, and The Voice is sometimes it gets in, sometimes it doesn't. I mean, it's got like a lot of all-stars. You know, you got Adam Levine. Like, it's a very good cast of people, but in the end, I'm just going to go with Top Chef. I think that's what the people love. They love food. They love to cook. All of it. So yes, all the drama. Let's go. That's what I have for reality. Next, we have Outstanding Movie, Limited Series, Supporting Actor, and the nominees are Owen Cooper for Adolescence, and we also got Javier Bardem for Monsters. We got Rob Mulaney for Dying for Sex, and Renzi Feliz for The Penguin, Ashley Walters for Adolescence, and for my sixth slot, I got Peter Sarsgaard, Presumed Innocence. So you can only have six of these. These are very popular shows. I think they're going to love Adolescence. You know, it's just rising on Netflix right now still. People are talking about it nonstop. I just can't see anything else kind of taking it down. So you got to have both those people in there. In terms of who could maybe replace one of these people, maybe Peter Sarsgaard could get out. I do have maybe Clancy Brown for The Penguin getting in there, or Liev Schreiber. Liev Schreiber won the Critics' Choice Award for that part in Perfect Couple. So it's possible that he gets in there, but I'm feeling pretty solid about these six, and I'm sticking with it. So yeah, that's what I have for Limited Series, Supporting Actor. Next up, we have Outstanding Supporting Actress in a Limited or Anthology Series or Movie. And the nominees are Erin Doherty for Adolescence, Jenny Slate for Dying for Sex, Leslie Manville for Disclaimer, Deirdre O'Connell for The Penguin, Chloe Sevigny for Monsters, the Lyle and Eric Menendez story, and Christine Tremarco for Adolescence. and I really don't know who else can really take it here. Maybe Layla George for Disclaimer, but honestly, not a lot of people like that show except for me. I don't know why. I love Disclaimer. I might be the only one. But yeah, these feel pretty solid. I mean, Adolescence is going to have a really great day. I'd be shocked if it didn't. But yeah, they're just going to go full on Adolescence. And this is what I have for Supporting Actress for Limited. Next up, we have Outstanding Lead Actor in a Limited or Anthology Series. And the nominees are Colin Farrell for The Penguin, Stephen Graham for Adolescence, Brian Tyree Henry for Dope Thief, Kevin Kline for Disclaimer, and Cooper Koch for Monsters, the Lyle and Eric Menendez story. So, a lot of possibilities here. These aren't 100% solid for like the last two slots, but that's what I'm sticking with. You can watch out for Paul Giamatti and Black Mirror because he's Paul Giamatti. That was a popular episode. People loved it. But also, you could see Jake Gyllenhaal for Presumed Innocence, even though that came out so long ago. It was like a year ago, it feels like. And you also have Aaron Pierre for Rebel Ridge that could maybe get it here because that was a popular movie on Netflix as well. So it's like, what do you go with from here? But yeah, this is pretty solid. I mean, at the end, it's just going to be Colin Farrell versus Stephen Graham, but it's just nice to have a solid lineup. This is actually a strong category. I like all of these actors. But yeah, that's what I have for Outstanding Lead Actor in a Limited or Anthology Series or Movie. We got Outstanding Lead Actress in a Limited or Anthology Series or Movie, and the nominees are Michelle Williams for Dying for Sex, Kristen Milioti for The Penguin, Cate Blanchett for Disclaimer, Renee Zellweger for Bridget Jones, Mad About the Boy, and Caitlin Dever for Apple Cider Vinegar. So yeah, they love their stars, and these are stars. I mean, I don't know where to begin, but yeah, Michelle Williams is just, she got nominated and won before. She'll do it again. She's very good in the show. And then Kristen Milioti, she was just like a powerhouse in The Penguin. I love that performance. And, the others are just kind of there because they're big celebrities. But watch out for Amanda Seyfried in Long Bright River. She's been campaigning hard, and people love her. And she's a previous winner. And of course, you also have Ellen Pompeo for Good American Family. I mean, people love Grey's Anatomy, right? So maybe she can get in, but I don't think people love the show, to be honest. And of course, you got Lola Pettigrew for Say Anything, but that came on, again, so long ago. It's like, are people going to remember it? I don't know. But yeah, this is what I have for Outstanding Lead Actress in a Limited or Anthology Series or Movie. Man, God, these categories are long. Outstanding Television Movie, and the nominees are Bridget Jones, Mad About the Boy, Rebel Ridge, Out of My Mind, Another Simple Favor, and Supremes at Earl's, All You Can Eat. But watch out for Mountainhead, because that movie has been campaigning. It's from the director and creator of Succession. It was just so last minute, but I hated that movie, my God. And then watch out for Am I Okay? I mean, that movie came out so long ago. It was just a long time before it got to streaming to HBO Max. But, I mean, Dakota Johnson, you gotta love her, right? But yeah, I mean, Bridget Jones, Renee Zellweger, and then you got Rebel Ridge with Aaron Pierre. Oh my God, Out of My Mind is just fine. And then Another Simple Favor, you gotta love the Blake Lively drama. But yeah, these are just like it's a weird category. I'm not really a fan of any of these, to be quite honest, but you work with what you get. But yeah, this is what I have for Outstanding Television Movie. Next, Outstanding Limited or Anthology Series, and the nominees are Adolescence, Dying for Sex, The Penguin, Monster, and Presumed Innocence. There can only be 5, so those are my 5. But watch out for Say Nothing, and watch out for Disclaimer. Say Nothing, it came out so long ago, and Disclaimer, nobody liked it except for me. But, and also watch out for Black Mirror. But again, the hype train for that has gone from like up to like, whatever. Certain episodes people like the Paul Giamatti one, but not everyone's a fan so much anymore. It's just kind of whatever with Black Mirror. But yeah, feel pretty good about these 5. Outstanding Limited or Anthology Series. Outstanding Guest Actor, Drama. And the nominees are Jeffrey Wright for The Last of Us, Robbie Benson for Severance, Sean Hannity for The Pit, Scott Glenn for The White Lotus, Joe Pantoliano, The Last of Us, and John Noble for Severance. So you can only have 6 in this particular category. It's, guest is always all over the place. You predict one person and then it's someone completely left field sometimes with the Emmys. It's never a slam dunk. But yeah, I think these are a good solid 6 because, Last of Us and Severance and White Lotus are just going to go head to head with each other. There's like so many people. But watch out for Ben Mendelsohn for Andor, and watch out for Beau Bridges for Matlock. Matlock, it's like, are you going to go with just Kathy Bates and no other actors? But I think Beau Bridges would be the guy to do it. The guy's like a legend in his own. But yeah, I feel pretty good for drama guest actor. Drama guest actress, and there can only be 6, and the nominees are Caitlin Dever for The Last of Us, Catherine O'Hara for The Last of Us, Gwendolyn Christie for Severance, Merritt Weaver for Severance, Rebecca Tilney for The Pit, and Hilary Swank for Yellow Jackets. So yeah, I mean, The Last of Us and Severance are basically dominating these categories with The Pit and Yellow Jackets thrown in there. You know, it's usually a Melanie Lynskey that gets in for like Yellow Jackets for like lead actress, but I feel like Hilary Swank is big enough on her own. She had some really good moments in her episode. So, I mean, it's possible. But watch out for Cherry Jones for Handmaid's Tale, because like even though it's like the last season, not that many people are high in that show anymore. She's Cherry Jones. Like she gets in so much. She's like, I think, already a previous winner. It just makes sense on paper that she could end up in there. But I'm not going to predict her. I'm going to stick with these 6, and that's that. The big ones, people. This is Outstanding Supporting Actor Drama. And the nominees are Walton Goggins for The White Lotus, Tremel Tillman for Severance, Jason Isaacs for The White Lotus, John Turturro for Severance, Jack Lowden for Slow Horses, Patrick Schwarzenegger for The White Lotus, and Sam Rockwell for The White Lotus. Those are my 7. So let's break it down. Walton Goggins, he's like the favorite to win, but Tremel Tillman could come up and steal it. We'll see. I don't know. And then they just love The White Lotus. Regardless of what you think about this season, people love the show still. It happens. So like Jason Isaacs is in because his character goes through like a whole thing. John Turturro for Severance. Yeah, he's a very big standout. He's got some very big scenes in this season, even though he kind of disappears for a little bit. Also, Jack Lowden, I mean, Slow Horses is slowly rising. I just feel like, and he's gotten, I think, before, so like it just makes sense on paper. And Patrick Schwarzenegger, yeah, his character, people love his character on The White Lotus too. So yeah, it's a White Lotus party. And Sam Rockwell, of course, he has that monologue. Come on, like you got to have him in there. But if there were people who were vulnerable, it would be not Patrick, maybe Sam Rockwell would be the vulnerable one, or Jack Lowden. But I would put James Marsden in for Paradise if that were to happen, or Zach Cherry for Severance if they are like full-on Severance crazy. But if The Pit is going to really rise, I need to see how popular The Pit is. Patrick Ball, I think he's got a good shot too. It's a tough category. This is like all over the place. But yeah, Walton Goggins, Tremel Tillman, Jason Isaacs, John Turturro, Jack Lowden, Patrick Schwarzenegger, and Sam Rockwell. Those are my 7 for drama. Supporting actor. Next, we have Outstanding Supporting Actress Drama. And the nominations that I have are Carrie Coon for The White Lotus, Parker Posey for The White Lotus, Amy Lou Wood for The White Lotus, Allison Janney for The Diplomat, Deacon Lockman for Severance, Catherine Lanasa for The Pit. Yes, I have her in. And for my 7th slot, because there can only be 7, Isabella Merced for The Last of Us. So it's just that 7th slot that's like kind of bothering me. Like, I know people are going to have Natasha Rothwell in for The White Lotus, but I don't think it's going to happen. Like, that's too many White Lotus people for one category. It's already like 1, 2, 3 people. Like, you're going to have 4 people in that category for White Lotus. Like, I know it's loved, but it's not that loved for this season. Let's calm down here. But also watch out for Patricia Arquette for Severance, even though she's really not in the season that much. She kind of like disappears for a while. It's just, she's good, but like, I don't think people are going to put it in. And then I got this like strange feeling that maybe Taylor Dearden for The Pit could get in, but that's a long shot. I'm not even going to go there. So, but I feel solid about these 7. Plus, like Isabella Merced, she's just rising right now with like all of her franchises. She's in Superman. So it just makes sense to me that this is going to happen for her. It's going to be very exciting. She was like the person that stole The Last of Us this season. And if that show is going to get a good amount of like nominations overall with like acting, I feel like she's part of that in a big way. So yeah, that's what I have for Drama Supporting Actress. Next, we have Outstanding Drama Actor. The nominees are Noah Wyle for The Pit, Adam Scott for Severance, Sterling K. Brown for Paradise, Pedro Pascal for The Last of Us, and for my 5th slot, because there can only be 5, Gary Oldman for Slow Horses. But watch out for Diego Luna for Andor. That show is very popular, but it's hard to break it into a field of 5. If it was 7 or something, yes, he's in, but no, this is 5. Also, watch out for John Hamm for Your Friends and Neighbors. You know, he's TV royalty. He won for Mad Men, so like he can get in there. The show is like popular enough, but not like that popular. It's probably just going to be him or nothing. I'm not gonna put in Lee Jung Jae for Squid Game because I just feel like that show has just kind of run its course a little bit. It's just I don't know. I'm not gonna talk about it. It just makes me mad. But yeah, this is what I have for a drama actor. Next, we have outstanding drama actress, and the nominees are Kathy Bates for Matlock, Britt Lauer for Severance, Bella Ramsey for The Last of Us, Kerry Russell for The Diplomat, and Elizabeth Moss for The Handmaid's Tale. But watch out for Melanie Linsky for Yellow Jackets. But yeah, I feel solid about this. I mean, there's only 5 for the leads. It's so weird, like how these like certain categories have like certain amount of nominations, you know, based on voting. But still, like, it's crazy. But yeah, I'm feeling pretty good about these 5 for drama actress. That's it. Looking at the drama categories with outstanding drama series, and the nominees are, and there's only 8: The Pits, Severance, The White Lotus, The Last of Us, Slow Horses, The Diplomat, Andor, and for my final slot, I'm going to go with Squid Game. I don't feel good about it though, because it's either Squid Game or Paradise, honestly, for me in that final slot. And Paradise has been campaigning hardcore, but Squid Game is just such a juggernaut of popularity on Netflix. It's like one of their biggest shows. It's like, how can you not? Despite how you feel about season 2, don't get me started on season 3. But like season 2, it's like people watched it. People watched it a lot. In Paradise, I still like find that people are kind of finding Paradise still. It's an okay show, but it's not as good as Squid Game. So like, yeah, that just seems right to me. I can't cut any of these other shows out, and that's what I'm going to go with for my outstanding drama series. Moving over to comedy, we're going to go with outstanding comedy guest actor, and there can only be 6. Okay, and the nominees are John Bernthal for The Bear, Bryan Cranston for The Studio, Martin Scorsese for The Studio, Ron Howard for The Studio, Mike Myers for SNL, and Griffin Dunn for Only Murders in the Building. All right, so let's see. This is like all over the place. The Studio is just going to be, I feel like, a juggernaut in terms of guest actors. So good for them, because I love that show. But you know, Christopher McDonald could maybe get in there for Hacks if they like go full on Hacks, but he's only in 1 episode. Like he's barely in the show this season, and he was kind of like whatever. Also, you got Will Poulter for The Bear. You know, he's popular on that show, but like just in general. But I don't think he's gonna get in. I feel like The Bear is losing steam, to be honest. But Tony Goldwyn for Hacks could possibly happen. He has a really good arc in this show. He's like the big boss man, but like I don't know. He might get in, but I'm not pushing for it. And then you got Bradley Cooper. I love Bradley Cooper for The Righteous Gemstones. His episode I heard was like amazing. I still need to watch it. I will. So he's a standout because he's like a movie star. But like, will he get in for that? I don't know. But or it could just be like, what if it's Dave Franco for The Studio? They just go full on like The Studio. Like they love all the guests. So it's tough. I feel good about my 6 for now, but I could be wrong. I don't know. But yeah, this is what I have for comedy guest actor. Next up, we have comedy guest actress, and the nominees are, and there can only be 6: Julianne Nicholson for Hacks, Jamie Lee Curtis for The Bear, Caitlin Alston for Hacks, Cynthia Erivo for Poker Face, Sarah Polley for The Studio, and Zoe Kravitz for The Studio. So I feel pretty good about these. Julianne Nicholson was hilarious on Hacks this season. Loved her as the dance mom. Jamie Lee Curtis, you know, once again, she's the mom. She comes back. Of course, she's great, and she's won before, so she could win again. And then Caitlin Alston for Hacks. People love her, and she's got like high maintenance right now. I don't think she's going to get nominated for that show. And then Cynthia Erivo, she plays like 5 different characters in this one episode of Poker Face. She's amazing. She's just such a talented actress. Love her, and I think she's going to get in for this. And Sarah Polley in The Studio, she's playing herself, but it's just outrageous. She's like directing a oneer. It's hilarious. Like even if you don't watch the whole show, The Studio, you will see her in this, and she kills it. She really does. And Zoe Kravitz, oh my god, like so exaggerated version of herself, or is it? I don't know. But she's so funny. I loved her in the Golden Globes episode, and of course the last two episodes in Vegas. But yeah, she seems pretty into me. But watch out for Maya Rudolph in SNL. She has won so many Emmys by now. She's won a few. She won like a few like last year. And then also watch out for maybe Greta Lee for the studio. That one episode, she's in it quite a bit, and she's pretty funny. So you never know. I don't know how the industry is going to embrace the studio, but time will tell. But yeah, comedy guest actress. Those are my 6. Outstanding comedy supporting actor, and there can only be 7. And the nominees are Harrison Ford for Shrinking, Eben Moss-Bacharach for The Bear, Paul W. Downs for Hacks, Michael Urie for Shrinking, Ike Barinholtz for The Studio, Brett Goldstein for Shrinking, and Coleman Domingo for The Four Seasons. Those are my 7, and this category is all over the place. My God, variety of different shows, a lot of different comedies. Some you would debate aren't comedies, they're drama, but whatever. But yeah, I feel pretty good. Watch out for Tyler James Williams for Abbott Elementary, previous nominee. Could get in, although I feel like Abbott is slowly going to dip over time, although people still watch the show. And then watch out for Bowen Yang for SNL. Like, he gets nominated quite a bit here. I don't know if he's going to make it this time. He didn't really have like a standout moment this season, but he could surprise. But yeah, this is what I have for comedy supporting actor. That's it. Outstanding comedy supporting actress. There can only be 7, and the nominees are Hannah Einbinder for Hacks, Liza Colon Zayas for The Bear, Catherine O'Hara for The Studio, Jessica Williams for Shrinking, Shirley Ralph for Abbott Elementary, Catherine Hahn for The Studio, and Janelle James for Abbott Elementary. Yeah, these are my 7. All popular in their comedies. They're so good. But watch out for Meryl Streep for Only Murders in the Building, although I really don't think it's going to happen. And watch out for Meg Stalter for Hacks. I want this to happen so badly. She has a new show called Too Much on Netflix right now. Amazing. You got to check it out. But yeah, for now, you just got to go with the people who've been nominated before, and these are all of these people. So yeah, that's what I'm going for. Comedy supporting actress. Almost there, people. Next up, outstanding comedy actor, and there can only be 5. The nominees are Seth Rogen for The Studio, Martin Short for Only Murders in the Building, Adam Brody for Nobody Wants This, Jeremy Allen White for The Bear, and Jason Segel for Shrinking. But watch out for Ted Danson for A Man on the Inside. He's been nominated before. People love Ted Danson. Classic legend. But yeah, I feel pretty good about these 5. It's not easy getting into a slot of 5, I'll tell you that. But yeah, this is it. Comedy actor. Next, outstanding comedy actress, and there can only be 5. And the nominees are Jean Smart for Hacks, Kristen Bell for Nobody Wants This, Ayo Edebiri for The Bear, Quinta Brunson for Abbott Elementary, and Selena Gomez for Only Murders in the Building. I mean, she got in last year, so now she's in the club. But watch out for Natasha Lyonne for Poker Face. She's gotten in before, but again, I feel like no one's talking about Poker Face. And watch out for maybe Tina Fey for The Four Seasons, but I just don't think it's her. I feel like Coleman Domingo makes it in for that show, and that's it. She's gotten in for better. But yeah, I feel pretty good about these 5. That's what I have for comedy actress. The final category for my predictions this evening, or day, whatever time you're listening, is Outstanding Comedy Series. And the nominees are, and by the way, there can only be 8. Hacks, The Studio, The Bear, Only Murders in the Building, Abbott Elementary, Shrinking, Nobody Wants This, and for the final 8 slot, What We Do in the Shadows. All right, so it was either between What We Do in the Shadows or The Four Seasons for me in this final slot. But yeah, I mean, both shows are kind of like whatever. I mean, What We Do in the Shadows was the final season, so that's why I'm putting it in. It's gone in before previous seasons. There are people who do love the show, and I think it gets in here. The Four Seasons, not a lot of people like the show. They were very lukewarm on it. It was just kind of like, yeah, but it got renewed, so I'm just kind of shocked by that, honestly, but whatever. But yeah, that's my comedy series 8. And those are my 2025 Emmy nominations predictions. Thank you so much for listening. I know it was a lot of categories to go through, 25 of them, but we're going to find out this Tuesday what happens. And if you like what you heard, go ahead and hit the subscribe button on the channel. I greatly appreciate your feedback and your support. And remember, when you go to the movies, bring your buddy and talk about movies. But you know what? We're watching TV because this is all about TV today. Until next time, bye.